No, Elite Dangerous is not dead.
Elite is a dying game.
No, Elite Dangerous is not dead.
Elite is a dying game.
No, Elite Dangerous is not dead.
Elite is a dying game.
Which one is it? In 2022, is Elite Dangerous dying, dead, or something else entirely? Let's explore that.
Yeah, but on my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze.
What's clear, at least for me, as a lifetime expansion pass holder and someone who's been around since premium beta in 2014, is that if Elite Dangerous isn't dead, then the characteristics that it's displayed since its launch and since its period of vibrancy and updates
Incoming message.
if you had to characterize that between thriving and dying, you'd certainly characterize it as dying. Major gaps in communication, a dearth of meaningful updates after a flurry of updates and a period of sequential growth. You would never characterize the current moment as a moment where the experience was thriving. Because I'm an optimist, I'm not sure if I'd call it dead, though. And to be clear, in that little montage at the beginning, Down to Earth Astronomy doesn't call it dead either. It calls it dying. But dying, dead, that's the language replete across the Elite Dangerous community with regard to this experience. It is one where, hello puppy, it is one where there is very little belief in the project, and that's in part because the communication doesn't inspire belief. The communication, if that were to be characterized, if you were to say, take a look at the communication of Frontier Developments over the last 2 years, would you characterize that as healthy, vibrant communication between a developer and the community? Or would you characterize it as communication that is prepping a particular experience to enter a robust maintenance mode where spin and PR and positioning have to take primacy over real innovations, real evolution, real development? You'd certainly characterize it as the latter, right? There's nothing healthy about communicating and laying out a framework for communication and then disappearing and then coming back and not really speaking to that. The current community model, and this is not about individuals. I wish nothing but the best for everyone involved at Frontier Developments as human beings. This is a game, so let's not get it twisted. There's a lot of other things to indict individuals for in this world. I'm not going to get on my soapbox. But Frontier Developments and their crafting of a game is not one of them. But as a collective organization, Frontier Development's communication strategy, even most recently, has been disappointing in that it seems very corporate in its inability to simply say, sorry. Right? The language that comes out of community management individuals seems to be around the idea of understanding. They understand why there's frustration. They understand why people would be upset. They understand the concern. Just apologize. It's the most basic human thing to do. And because corporations are what they are, and we, as the wider human polity, have allowed them to be structured the way they're structured, very often they just have a pathological inability to apologize for what we know is a relative mess. You know, the last few years of Elite Dangerous. It's a relative mess. So what's important for us to glean from the current moment is that it cannot be authentically and actionably argued that Elite Dangerous is a thriving game. The other thing that's important to remember, however, is this idea that, you know, the answer to the question, is Elite dying, can be a tripartite one. Do I think the servers are going to be cut off in the next 6 months to 18 months? Probably not. No, I would not put my money on that. So, given that, the answer to the question, is Elite Dangerous dying or dead? Well, where you stand on that depends on where you sit. If you're somebody like me, or Yamix, or Exegius, or Down to Earth Astronomy, or others that have moved on entirely, like Dig That and others, then, you know, you have a history with this thing that gives you an arc of experience that positions you for disappointment. But if you're a PC player, note, not a console one. That's a whole other thing that we covered in a previous video. But if you're a PC player and you're just coming to Elite Dangerous, there's a good amount of riches to be engaged with. You know, I'm not even talking about Odyssey content. I'm talking about everything that came before that. There's a good amount to engage with from Horizons alone. So you might find the experience to be refreshing and robust. Bottom line for me is, in a world where experiences like Elite Dangerous...
Go ahead.
I will, thank you. In a world where experiences like Elite Dangerous captured the reignited imagination of folks who were fiending for the return on modern PC platforms and other platforms of a powerful space sim experience. In a world where that truth is still today manifesting itself, the opportunity to really deliver that Frontier Developments is leaving behind with its current management of Elite Dangerous, the lost potential there is painfully lamentable. You know, as I posted in some YouTube videos around these matters this week, I'm not angry. I'm sad. Because I feel like an Elite Dangerous platform that was fully leaned into the way it used to be would have an opportunity to really capture energy, dollars, and legacy for an experience that for me goes back to 1986 and the Apple IIe. Instead, what I fear is that the legacy of Elite Dangerous will be a game that came out of the gate firing in deep partnership with its community, and all the things that made it special continued to fall away until this moment where it's not unreasonable to characterize the experience as dying or dead for many. But head to the comments and tell me what you think. I look forward to the ongoing conversation, and here's hoping that we're all wrong and something far more robust is on the horizon. But protect your sentiment, protect your time, protect your interests, protect your dollars, because I don't think that we're going to get anything other than what we've gotten in that diminished way over the past couple years. But let me know what you think in the comments. We'll talk soon.